Forget what the adults expected. At least for us kids, these were supposed to be a fun couple of- Wait a minute!
What happened to the intro?
What happened to the intro?
Why did you intro? Welcome everybody to Umineko. Battler's growing a backbone. He's gonna sort everything out. What?
What happened to the intro?
What do you mean?
It was taken away. It was-
What?
Killed.
What?
And now it's been revived.
Yes, I'm doing the intro.
Oh my god, Benny, you an endless witch?
I hope so. You too can be an endless witch for $14.99. Send it to our Patreon, which we don't have set up, but if we had one, you could be an endless witch with us. It's not a cult. Hashtag not a cult. Hashtag could be a cult.
Could be a cult.
Could be a cult. It's in the cat box. Ah! Not a fan.
I'm really glad that you picked up I missed it. I was really
So
concerned
ready.
you were just gonna let it slide.
No, I was like, hold on, are you just jumping into this? You crazy person.
Crazy.
We gotta welcome everyone back.
So yeah,
Anyway.
last time
Uminekos.
No, come on, that was 2 episodes ago.
Uminekos.
No, that was
welcome
2
back.
episodes. No.
Welcome back to Uminekos.
Come on, no, listen. This is Umineko.
Umineko?
Yeah, Umineko.
Umineko.
Yeah, Umineko.
Umineko. It's like company. It's like a minor company.
That's exactly what it is.
Minor company.
Yeah, this is actually just a front for mining business.
I'd be okay with that. That explains the gold.
That it does indeed.
Oh shit.
See?
Theory.
There we go. Easy peasy.
Anyway.
So yeah, last time
we had witches.
We had lots of witches. We're
And we
spending
had
a lot of
Vigilia.
time in purgatory.
Yes.
Lots of time in purgatory.
We're learning about magic.
This is true.
Which is a thing that's
well,
important.
actually, we didn't really learn about magic. We learned about not magic.
Well, we learned about the facts, and this is something that you picked up on quite early. I'm actually impressed. I'm not even like being sarcastic. That you were totally right. Like when we look at stuff on the board, when we see like, magic shit happening, it's because of that balance between fiction and non-fiction, right?
Yeah.
So all the stuff that's being explained with magic isn't necessarily real. It's being explained with witch magic, but it's it's Beatrice's truth. But of course, the fun thing to do then is to flip the chessboard, I guess, and say, well, what if it's the other way around?
Well, I think it's spin the
Battler's
chessboard,
arguing?
because if you flip it, then all the pieces
This
come
is
off.
true. Spin the chessboard. Don't flip unless it's like a magnetic chessboard. But anyway.
You probably shouldn't do that either.
Probably not. But yeah.
Only at the end of the game.
We sort of confirmed that, a lot of stuff on the island is just not real.
Just not happening.
Or not necessarily real,
Of course.
So that's good. We also have Vigilia. She's the best old witch that anyone could have asked for, and I love her. And I love her hat. It looks like it's eating her face.
I'm just really, like, as much as I love the old sprites, the old sprite version of Vigilia is just...
It is a little, like, uninteresting, I guess. I don't know.
It's not
like,
even that, it's just the hair looks like it's...
yeah.
It just looks like it's like sheets of darkened paper hung over her head. Like,
The hat's good, though.
the hat is pretty nice.
I love the hat. Like
Also, the
bouquet of
constantly
roses.
closed eyes, whilst I understand that's a character thing.
It's a character thing.
The execution of that in the new images was honestly far better.
You think so?
I give +1 to the new images for Vigilia.
Alright, cool. That's fair.
And RIP the PS3 sprites, because I've still not looked at any of those.
I mean, they're okay. They're pretty boring.
Wow.
Honestly. I don't like them very much.
That's how you get yourself kicked off Reconstruction.
Yeah, fuck it. Aspie kicked me already. Let me just...
Shout out to Aspie again.
Shout out to Aspie. I told him to go fuck himself last time we gave a shout out to him, so I want to take that back. I want to apologize. For like 5 weeks after that episode that you've probably forgotten about, and I shouldn't have brought it back up again. You know what? It's fine.
It's
Aspie
alright.
loves me. He's a
I'm
bro.
sure he does.
He asked me for opinions about the site, so he loves me.
Wow, way to cement this time and make yourself seem more important.
Ah, that's, well, I mean, you're not wrong. Alright, this is a battle scene.
Forget what the adults expected. At least for us kids, these were supposed to be
you.
a fun couple of days where the cousins deepened their friendship. However, when we woke up, there was an unbelievably cruel reality waiting for us.
Hick.
Who's crying?
Oh no, someone's crying.
Is that hiccups?
Ah, there you go. Well, I don't know who's crying.
So did Bella just wake up and they're in the room crying?
Yeah, I think that they've already, like...
Bella's just taking a nap,
Actually,
guys.
I think that, while Battler was, like, hanging out and not taking his turn, I think they've already, like, investigated everything.
Probably.
They already know everyone's dead, so at least these two do.
Georgian... Fuck, I nearly started in Jessica's voice. I was too excited to get back into Jessica.
Yeah.
Ugh. I wish the cousins had been here a bit more. I've really been missing...
I've been missing them too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Episode 3,
such
lack
great
of cousins.
people. Lack of cousins.
Yeah.
George, Nikki, and Jessica were crying over Shannon and Kennigan's deaths. Have we seen this place before?
I don't think so. We're in the guest house though.
Pretty nice looking room.
It's a bar? What?
I don't know.
I think it might be. It's kind of hard to tell with the filter.
Kind of look like a greenhousey thing in the background.
Yeah, there's like wide window.
Really, Kraus should have opened it and let us come have a look.
Yeah, could have hung out with him.
Yeah, would have been great.
Yeah.
As long as it wasn't October whenever in 1986.
Yeah, October 20th.
Let's not go there then.
Or is it, wait, no, what am I talking about? It's like the 2nd or the 3rd or something. Anyway.
I don't know.
They'll tell us eventually. They'll remind us.
Right now, everyone who was alive had gathered in the lobby on the first floor of the guest house.
Good to know.
And there were 12 people there. Unbelievable, right? There were 18 until yesterday, and in one night, a third of that number had lost their lives. I eventually sobered up from my agitation, and along with my lack of sleep from being woken up so early in the morning, I was beginning to feel a faint sense of unreality. I wanted to think this is some kind of bad dream. Cheap escapism keeps telling me that over and over. Maria had gone back to sleep on the sofa that Rosa was sitting in. We definitely haven't seen this place before.
No, we haven't seen the guest house in detail yet.
Rather than having her nerves of steel, she probably genuinely hadn't had enough sleep.
Oh,
look who's got the gun this
new
time!
New sprite.
Boys.
Yeah, this is great.
He looks so sad. Look at that watch, though. What a watch.
That's pretty great. I want it. Full silver watch there. Look at that gun, though. That's a wicked looking gun. Yeah, cool. So he's got the gun this time. So he's in charge. Cool. What are you looking for? The ring. There's a ring on his finger in the new image as well.
It's the hands again. The hands just kill me every single time.
But there is actually like a wedding ring on his fingers in the new sprites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting that they're on 2.
Yeah. What? Jesus.
The adults were holding items for what was apparently grandfather's collection. Short barrel Winchester rifles. Rifles?
Plural? What?
Plural?
What do you mean plural?
Apparently relics from a time he'd been obsessed with westerns. There were 4 guns altogether. 4 guns?!
So this is the question. We've
What?
only ever seen one gun.
Oh my God.
Up until this episode.
Why though? Why was this a thing? They'd been split up evenly among the 4 siblings. Uncle Kraus, Aunt Ava, my dad, and Aunt Rosa. Paper boxes filled with bullets lay on the table and the siblings were silently loading them.
Damn. It's a little scary. It's kind of cool though. Even now, touching one of these, I get the feeling Dad'll yell, "Don't touch that and hit me."
New images!
Yeah. Get on it. Fucking crowds.
jacked.
He's like, I'm so ready to kill someone. Oh my God. Oh, this is
Isn't that
terrifying.
great? No matter how much you touch them, you won't be hit again.
No.
Rip Dad.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. To think that Father would meet this kind of end.
Well, I never did expect Kinzo-san to die normally in his bed.
It's a suspicious line, Dr. Nanjo.
Oh, but even so, it is too horrible.
Hey, I wonder if that really was Father. I think it might be a different person's corpse used as a substitute to trick us.
No, it was Father, without a doubt. You saw his toes, right?
Yay, toes.
6 toes. Generally speaking, there aren't many humans with 6 toes on both feet. But that doesn't mean that such people don't exist. I've heard that polydactyly isn't that rare a disease. He was a man who liked large-scale tricks, right? He might have obtained a corpse from somewhere that had the same number of toes on both feet. Ridiculous! Why would he do something like that? Why would he do something like that? I'd agree if it was a normal person, but this is Father we're talking about. You can't be sure Kiryu-san's talking nonsense. After all, burning a corpse makes it hard to identify. Still, there should be a few ways to examine him from his teeth and bone structure. If the police investigated, of course they'd be able to know whose body it was right away.
Instantly.
Instantly. As soon as the police get here.
As soon as they look at it, they'll be like, ah, that's Gary.
That's Gary Oshirumia, the extra sibling.
Yay.
Oh my God.
The problem is we need the telephone engineer more than the police right now. The boats probably won't come in this typhoon, so they arrive tomorrow. I guess
Kraus?
me? Most likely the boat will come again at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Then I believe we will be able to contact the police.
It is the same for us and the culprit. Until the typhoon passes, this island will be closed off. That was probably Kyrie. I'm speaking for my wife. I wish they just leave the sprites on the screen.
I
That'd be
really
nice.
wish they did.
Yeah.
Just from our parents' conversation, you can probably figure out the general gist, but let's explain the situation anyway. First, early that morning.
Oh, there we go. Go tips.
In various places throughout the mansion, a total of 6 corpses, including grandfather and all the servants, had been found one after the other.
Tips.
Let's do it.
Get on that shit.
Da, da, da.
There they are.
Kainzo!
Kainzo?
Shiramir Kinzo. His body was found as a burnt corpse in the underground boiler room's incinerator.
No evidence of a struggle was found inside the incinerator, so it's probably reasonable to assume that he was burned after his murder. Too bad this time. It was game over right from the start.
Servant Genji. His body was found in the VIP room on the 2nd floor. The weapon used on him is assumed to be a gun or spear-shaped object. To thank Genji for his many years of service, let us allow him to rest in the VIP room. Ugh.
Assumed
What are
to
you
be
looking
gun or spear-shaped object.
Gun or spear?
Servant Shannon. Her corpse was found in the parlor on the 1st floor. The weapon used on her is assumed to be a gun or spear-shaped object. Let Shannon have the parlor with its wonderful view of the rose garden on sunny days.
Servant Cannon. His corpse was found in the chapel. The weapon used on him is assumed to be a gun or spear-shaped object. For Cannon in the chapel, let him continue to protect the Lord's precious place, even after death. Servant Golda. His corpse was found in a waiting room on the 3rd floor. The weapon used on him is assumed to be a gun or spear-shaped object. The room next to the study is fitting for him, considering how much he wanted to earn Kinzo's favor. Servant Kumasawa. Her corpse was found in the guest room on the 2nd floor. The weapon used on her is assumed to be a gun or spear-shaped object. This seldom used 2nd floor guest room was her secret napping spot. Good to know.
Interesting. First grandfather had been in the boiler room, completely burnt. The servants had died, each shut up in the rooms throughout the mansion that had magic circles drawn on them. The cause of death for the servants was uncertain, but according to Dr. Nanjo's diagnosis, there was a high likelihood they'd been stabbed by something like a spear or possibly shot with a gun. That's why the adults had started arming themselves with Winchesters.
Aiming Winchesters at themselves.
Yay!
Yes.
What made the situation even more chaotic was the fact that the telephones had become unusable. It was unknown if lightning had caused them to break down or if the culprit had broken. At any rate, since contact with the outside had been cut off, we couldn't reach the police. So until the typhoon passes and a boat comes tomorrow morning, we'll have to protect ourselves. After all, Reconstruction is now isolated by the typhoon. And just as we're stuck on the island, so is the culprit. It seemed the adults had stayed up all night, holding the family conference in the mansion's dining hall the whole time. And murdering everyone with an alibi because they all did it together.
Oh, you need the coupon on night, such a thing.
And yet the crime had occurred in the mansion. So right when the adults had been in an uproar over money, murder had been killed under the same roof. They say Aunt Natsui's been strict about locking the doors and windows at night. And yet some suspicious person had entered and left the mansion. The adults had decided that the inside of the mansion was too large to be safe, so they'd pulled out the guns and moved to the guest house, where we had been. I swear they said there was only one gun in the first one.
I mean, they might have only had one.
Maybe.
I don't know. There was no red truth about this Reconstruction, so maybe there's a different number of guns on in each game.
I mean, that's what I'm assuming.
It's possible. I don't know.
I mean, there also wasn't a chapel in the first game.
As far as we know, it's the devil's proof.
Damn it. Walked right into that one.
Goddamn. We need more red truths.
Well, in my reality, there isn't a chapel. In your reality, there is a chapel.
Oh, shit.
All we have to do is look inside the chapel.
We gotta look inside the chapel.
There's no chapel there. See?
Oh, you fucking figured it out.
Which brings... Oh, my voice right now. What is even happening?
You're okay. I believe in you.
Which brings us to the present. George and Nikki had begged to see Shannon Chan's corpse, but the adults had refused, saying that he mustn't do so until the police arrived. Thank goodness. Just what we needed to do.
Yeah. Don't look at the corpse. Don't, like, look for clues in the crime scene.
So on today's episode of Umineko, everyone except the cousins is a culprit. That's what I've learned just now.
You think so?
Yep.
Right.
Confirmed. Locked in.
Okay.
It wasn't just because they wanted to seal all the rooms to preserve the scene. After all, the culprit who had killed the 6 people was wondering about the mansion. With the Shiramiya family right now, that mansion should have been their home. That mansion that should have been their home was now a danger zone. And an unknown murderer could enter and leave at will. It's Kenny Loggins.
What? I don't get that reference.
He's the murderer.
I don't know who Kenny Loggins is. I'm sorry.
You don't know who Kenny Loggins is?
I don't. Are we gonna have to look up who that person is?
Have you ever seen the movie Top Gun?
I have. Wait. Not in a long time.
I
I mean, I've seen it. I just don't know who Kenny Loggins is. I don't remember.
He's the dude that made the theme song.
Oh, all right.
Danger Zone.
Oh, I'm an uneducated twat.
That's right.
Yeah.
See, this is why we have you. You're the anime.
I'm the J-Pan man.
J-Pan man.
And you're the music man.
I guess.
Continue, please.
After all, it's a huge mansion. There are plenty of blind spots in dark places, and it's too vast to guarantee absolute safety with this number of people. Relatively speaking, the guest house was much smaller. It had 2 above-ground stories, something like 10 or so rooms? Apparently it had originally been constructed to serve as a small hotel as part of the plan to turn this island into a resort. It was easier to know what was going on everywhere inside it, and it'd be easier to keep it safe. It made for a good place to hole up in. Also, it was extremely likely that this mass murder of 6 people was a game. After all, the culprit had proclaimed so in a letter. I heard that a Western-style envelope with the family crest, just like the one Maria claimed to have received from Beatrice yesterday, had been found in the boiler room where Grandfather's corpse had been discovered. This is what the letter said. So that there will be no misunderstandings, the game I seek is for everyone to try and solve the riddle of the Epitaph. Not for you to try and catch me. If you don't solve the riddle, pitiful sacrifices will further increase in number. It'd be wiser to spend your time solving the Epitaph instead of searching for me. This is a different letter. Is this another letter?
This is different. Yeah.
No one can solve the riddle, no one will survive.
Yeah, this is arguably in response to the last 2 games where nobody tried to solve the riddle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there is some sense of continuity between the episodes.
Wait, but Maria read the letter and it still had the same...
So yeah, those are different. We didn't get to see that letter in this one.
Maria read it.
Well, she read it, but it didn't... I mean, it's not in the tips, is what I mean. Sorry.
Interesting.
Yeah, bit different, but I don't think it's too important. Don't think about it too hard.
Appears, who can miraculously solve it?
Yeah. Only someone would appear.
If a person appears who can... Oh.
There it is.
I will give them all the gold of the Golden Land, the Ashuramiya family headship, and all of my power. I was the one who succeeded the Ashuramiya family headship after Kinzo-sama. I look forward to seeing who will succeed to that headship after me. The Golden Witch, Beatrice. This riddle of the Epitaph was that thing. A strange epitaph written by the portrait of the witch on display in the main hall of the mansion. Grandfather was the only one who had written it, and the person who'd solved it would supposedly be given the inheritance or the hidden gold, or something like that. Ever since it was first put on display, there were several years ago, that relatives had secretly tried to solve that riddle, despite saying on the surface that the whole idea was silly. However, up until today, no one had solved it. We were once again being urged to solve that unintelligible riddle, and this time we were faced with the threat that we'd all be killed if we didn't solve it. If that wasn't a game, what else could it be? I like that they've just, you know, right out the gate, it's like, we fucking solved this or we die.
Yeah.
They kind of...
Well, one interesting thing is that because it was the 5 servants and Kinzo who died, all the siblings are alive, all the cousins are alive, which means that arguably all the most competent... Sorry? And Nanjo, sorry. Other than Nanjo, all the most competent people are alive right now. No offense, Nanjo.
So Battler, though.
I mean, no comment. Point is, like, they have
I feel
guns.
like I need to clip the "you are incompetent" and just
keep posting it.
Keep pasting it everywhere.
Like, because they've got the guest house, they've got guns, they've got supplies, assumedly.
Yeah.
Like, everything is very organized in this
true.
episode compared to the other First Twilights. All the others have been fucking chaotic.
Yeah.
But in this one, they're very on point. Like, as long as the siblings stick together and the cousins stick together, everything will be fine. Just stay in the guest house.
Yeah, we'll be fine, guys.
I'm sure that nothing will go wrong.
No one will die.
But yeah, very different setup this time.
The bold opinion that we should search the premises for the culprit did come up once. However, there was a good chance that they were armed and there might not be just one of them. And while they might have been able to kill more than 6 people, they had stopped at 6. The opinion that won out in the end was that we should avoid needlessly antagonizing the culprit.
Good plan.
And hole up in a safe space while we waited for the police to arrive.
Also a good plan. Strength in numbers, boy.
Yay! Unless, of course...
But of course, there are no more than 18 humans.
Oh no.
On this Reconstruction.
What does that mean?
Anyway, let's continue, please.
After the adults carefully checked the doors and windows in the guest house were locked, they set up camp in the lobby. As they loaded their guns to distract themselves from the tension, their expressions showed that they were already fatigued from this long day, which had still barely begun. There was nothing for me to do. Now all I could do was be taught how to use a gun. Prepare for one of the off chance of something happening that led to an excess of guns.
Oh my god. They're like training the kids to use guns.
That led to an excess of guns. It's a very interesting line when we have 4 times as many guns.
I know.
Brilliant. It's a really nice view. What the hell is that thing on the left though? Is this like a this little thing on the left up here?
Little hedge, right? Or
no, the like pillars and shit.
What? Pillars?
Yeah, see there's like a post and a post and then is that like stairs there?
Is that maybe the arbor? I'm not sure.
Maybe, I mean, I think probably that's well, no, because the front of the guest house...
it could just be part of the sky, I'll be honest.
I really just want to see these pictures without the filter. That's all I want in life.
I know.
I know that they do have like the 16:9
Look,
versions with the Steam sprites, but
Do they?
yeah, they actually drew versions for the Steam sprites.
Oh.
Yeah, and
Wait.
they're all in 16:9.
Wait, where? What? How come we can't see that? If we go to the Steam version, we don't see
Sorry,
that.
not Steam, the PS3
Oh,
version.
PS3. I was gonna say, like, what are you,
did
what
I
are you
say
talking
Steam?
about? You definitely did. No,
Damn it, sorry.
I've seen those.
Yeah, no, the
Yeah.
PS3 one. That's fine. Just obediently stay there, me and the rest of you. 6 people in the beginning again, and this time it's grandfather and all of the servants put together.
Most likely, that child has carefully studied your moves from last game and has made an optimal move by taking the pieces you are most likely to suspect from the very start.
That makes sense. It was true both last time and the time before that. The servants who know everything about the mansion and who walk around with keys always fall into the most suspicious category of people. A good example in the last game would be Jessica's closed room. If I'd only accepted that a servant was the culprit, that wouldn't have even had a chance of being a closed room.
And so, that child went straight for them, probably to block off a method of escape you'd be likely to attempt sooner or later.
He had already proclaimed that in Red there are no more than 18 people on the island.
Yep.
In other words, it's time to give up on that. Now I've got to suspect one of the 18.
That child would probably come at you by stealing the pieces for all the 18, while also making an appearance as a 19th person who shouldn't exist. For then you would be forced to accept that your opponent is a witch. After all, now that the intimidation approach has failed, trying to force you to surrender by showing your magic, the only remaining option is a frontal attack.
Perfect. Bluffing won't work anymore.
Yay. Be careful. Deception is what witches are best at. No matter what your opponent says or shows you, it will not be able to threaten the truth that you believe in. Don't forget that.
Sure, so I'd fall for the same moves over and over. Come out, Beatrice. Let's get started.
Oh, his fucking song. I am already seated at the table of the conquest. My
Conquest?
turn... Contest, rather. I got ahead of myself, and my turn is already complete. To think that we would end up having Madame as our foe. This would not be easy, my lady. Her moves will be read thoroughly. I care not. By now, teacher's moves are all old-fashioned classics. There is nothing to fear. So, just what moves can you make beyond the classics I taught you? I look forward to seeing, Beatrice. You okay with this, Battler? Can someone who denies witches really accept a witch as a strategist?
Your stupid provocation is pointless. This is my advisor. No, my second. That doesn't change one bit. This is a fistfight between you and me.
I understand. One as wobbly as yourself probably needs training wheels on his bicycle. Do as you like. Come! Let us begin. It's your turn.
What is this, trap?
Dancing pipe! I've been waiting for this!
I'm fairly certain you've said at least twice that that's shown up already.
You know what? It's
Incorrectly.
fine. It's great.
Don't lean into the microphone when you get louder.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Let's begin with the reconstruction of the crime scene. Regalia, quickly, please. Wow. Just
Yeah, straight
bossing
into
around.
it. The first corpse discovered was Shannon's. She was found in the parlor on the first
I'm
floor of
just
the
imagining
mansion.
this like a news broadcast, just like Regalia is like the weather lady.
Yeah, totally. She'd be good at it. On the first floor of the mansion. What?
Oh, sorry. Oh, you're waiting for me.
I was wondering if you were going to say something.
No.
The door and the windows were locked and a closed room was established.
Beato, I need some details. Let's reconfirm the definition of a closed room.
Indeed. The term closed room refers to a room where the inside and the outside are completely cut off from each other. Naturally, it'll be impossible to even affect things across that boundary line, much less enter or escape across it. This includes an all-inclusive denial of the existence of hidden doors, as well as all possibility of intervention from the outside. Henceforth, this shall be referred to as Beatrice's closed room definition.
Let's focus in a bit. How do you define all possibility of intervention from the outside?
I refer to all types of direct intervention from the outside, such as using a fishing line or a long, thin rod. In conclusion, there are no gaps in the doors or windows through which such tricks will work.
I wonder about that. Even if there wasn't a gap, you should be able to interfere with radio waves like some remote control, right?
Very well. I'll add to this definition that interference due to radio waves and related methods of remote control shall be impossible.
There's also an extension telephone in the parlor. The device connected to that wouldn't count as remote control, right?
The phones are already unusable, are they not? Whatever. I'll include that too. All direct and indirect methods of interfering with the inside of the closed room from the outside of the room are impossible.
What about a voice or a knock? Those should be able to interfere from the outside without someone entering the room, right?
Even though it's a closed room, it probably isn't impossible for someone to knock or call out. The closed room definition does not cover whether transmission of intent across the boundary is possible or not.
In other words, you can make it so your definition includes the blockage of all methods of communication with the outside.
That is indeed the case.
Understood. So, Shannon Chan's parlor satisfies Beatrice's closed room definition, right?
Here we go. Correct.
Closed room definition, understood. Continue, forget it. Didn't say it in red.
She didn't. This is true. Yes. Shannon's corpse was in possession of one master key. The relatives who discovered her collected this.
Beato, repeat it. How many master keys this time?
The same as last time. There are 5, one for each servant.
Which means this isn't a closed room. There are still 4 master keys left. Which means that after Shannon Chan was murdered, one of the other 4 keys... Why are you saying that now? Still looking at the first room, you dummy.
Correct. And it wasn't only a master key that was found. Yes. Alongside the corpse, there was a western envelope with the family crest. Instead of a letter, the key to a guest room on the 2nd floor was inside of it.
Key to a 2nd floor guest room. The only other key and the master key that can open the door to that 2nd floor guest room. Is that definition correct?
Indeed, there is no problem, and unlike the master keys, only one of those exists. In other words, apart from the 5 master keys, there will only be one key that can unlock certain rooms.
In other words, this is a message telling them to go to the 2nd floor guest room next, right? So what I'm imagining here is we're about to get all of the keys are going to show up in a way that makes sense, but they're all going to be in an order that wouldn't line up.
You think so?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because it's like Shannon was locked in, had this key, but then the keys to lock like Shannon's room was in a room that should have been locked before Shannon was in there or something like that.
Alright, cool.
In other words, this is a message telling them to go to the 2nd floor guest room next. So the adults move to the 2nd floor guest room, right?
Yes. The door to the 2nd floor guest room was locked, and a magical circle was drawn upon it. The relatives unlocked it with the key they had found near Shannon's corpse. Inside, Kumasawa's corpse was discovered. It was a closed room, one that satisfied Beatrice's closed room definition. Kumasawa was in possession of one master key. The relatives collected this. And like in Shannon's case, there was a western envelope discovered alongside her. Inside was the key to the 3rd floor waiting room. The relatives moved to the 3rd floor waiting room.
So there was a magic circle on the door to the 3rd floor waiting room, and that door was locked.
Yes. Inside the room, Goda's corpse was discovered. The room was a closed room, one that satisfied Beatrice's closed room definition. Goda was in possession of one master key. The relatives collected this. And like up until now, the western envelope with the family seal was discovered, inside of which was the key to the 2nd floor VIP room. The relatives moved to the 2nd floor VIP room.
Wait, what's going on here? What are you planning?
There's no need to glare, is there? It may be a closed room, but there are still multiple master keys that can open it, correct? And besides the master keys, I've even given you keys specific to each room.
I don't like where this is going. I'm starting to see how it'll turn out. So it continues like this for all 6 people.
Yes, that is correct. Inside the 2nd floor VIP room, Kenji's corpse was discovered. One master key was collected. The key to the underground boiler room was discovered. They moved to the underground boiler room. Inside the underground boiler room, Kinzo's corpse was discovered. The key to the chapel was discovered. They moved to the chapel. Inside the chapel, Kennan's corpse was discovered, and one master key was collected. The key to the 1st floor parlor was discovered. With this, our reconstruction of how all 6 corpses were discovered is complete. In addendum, along with the key to the chapel, a letter was enclosed in the wisdom envelope found near Kinzo's corpse. The contents of the letter were as you saw. It further urged the relatives to solve the riddle of the Epitaph.
In that case, what's going on? The last place where Kannan-kun was had the key to the very first room. Probably where Shannon was, so I called it.
You just called him Kannan-kun above that.
Did I?
I think you did.
Maybe.
Whatever, check the recording.
Sorry. I mean, like,
no, it's fine.
Listen.
You love him.
I do.
Aww. Poor Kannan-kun.
He's the only one that's given me an anime fight that's really surprised me.
Ah, well. I know you want from me.
That makes 6 closed rooms all tied together, right?
That is correct. The 6 closed rooms were all tied together. The keys to unlock each one are all shut up inside the next room. In other words, the 6... No, this is you.
In other words, the 6 closed rooms form one massive closed room, and all the master keys as well as the individual room keys are shut up in it.
Furthermore, all of the doors and windows in the 6 rooms are normal. No device exists which can lock them without a key, such as an auto lock. There you go. What do you think? It's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah. Once again, milady, that is not dignified. Renove rebuked her. Oh, this would be you, wouldn't it?
When Ronove rebuked her, Beato stuck her tongue out at him without showing any signs of shame.
Sorry. Playing with Battler just put me into such a good mood. So, Battler, what do you think of my move? If you can't think of anything in particular, I wouldn't mind showing you how I made the goats carry the corpses and seal over the rooms with magic, okay?
Do what you want. I'll listen respectfully to this magic theory you claim is true. However, I can claim my human theory, even though it's completely different from yours, without any interference from your claim. In other words, there's no need for me to pay attention to your bullshit.
Nice.
Go ahead and show me how you can lock the door with your multicolored magic simply by waving your magic staff. Just like those guys with their toad oil and all-purpose kitchen knives. I love that was the addition to magic. All-purpose kitchen knives.
All-purpose kitchen knives.
McGilly, let's reconstruct the crime scene.
Yeah.
Search for a weakness. Computer.
Reconstruct the crime scene, yeah.
Search for a weakness. Were they all definitely dead? If one of them is just playing dead, this isn't a closed room at all.
Nanja confirmed that all of them were dead. However, due to the devil's proof, it is impossible to deny the possibility of a wrong diagnosis. In other words, that child cannot make the likelihood that Nanja overlooked them being alive equal to 0.
Here it is, that devil's proof. There exists a sword that can carve that up.
What's up with them? Looks like they're having a good time leaving me out of the discussion. I'm his opponent, am I not? Doesn't he have any time to spare for me? Fundamentally speaking, communication with one's opponent is not necessary to the act of competing in chess. Every time you've communicated with him outside of making your moves, you've used that opportunity to confuse him. Perhaps this is the result of him not wanting to be led astray. For some reason, I don't like it. You are challenging him to a chess match, are you not? That's true, but... Gah. We just puffed out her cheeks as though to say, I don't know why, but I don't like it. Poor Beatrice. She's so left out. Because the police have not yet arrived at the crime scene, the human side's ability to inspect the scene is limited. For a strict confirmation of death, I recommend that you have that child repeated in red.
Okay, that's where I'll strike. Repeat it. The 6 victims are all dead.
Milady, he has told you to repeat something in red, has he not?
Hey, enough lazing around. You refuse to repeat it. This is where our battle starts.
What? Oh! sorry, that's fine, I'll answer. These 6 are all dead. Kinzo, Genji, Shannon, Kanon, Goda, and Kumasawa.
Oh no.
There you go.
R.I.P. Battler's theory.
Yeah, confirmed all dead.
Why are you so out of it? Okay, so I already got one out of you. We'll start by denying that classic trick where the victims are playing dead.
I won't go easy on you anymore. Come at me how you like it. I'll slice them slantwise one after another.
And repeat this. No one is hiding in any of those 6 rooms. Let's see you deny the existence of people we aren't aware of.
I'll answer. There is no one hiding in the 6 rooms.
Okay. I'm sure there's only 6 of them in the camp. They are pretending to be dead.
What will you do? What will you do? As if a human could manage anything by now. Obediently kneel to the fact that I can control locks at will with my wonderful magic, okay?
Quit babbling. Repeat this too. 6 deaths were instant deaths.
Instant deaths? Oh, what do you mean by that? It means there's a possibility that a single victim on the verge of death managed to escape into the room, and after locking it from the inside to create a closed room, they passed away. The classic closed room murder trick. One requiring that the victim receive a fatal wound and then die later. It is possible for a closed room to be constructed unexpectedly if the victim holds up inside the room to escape the murderer, and then dies after locking the door. In order to deny that possibility, you will need to proclaim that the 6 died instantly with the red truth. Very well. I'll slay you with my red treasured sword.
Oh boy.
The 6 died instantly. By died instantly, I mean the targets instantly became incapable of action after being attacked. Well, it might still have taken them several seconds or minutes to die in the complete sense of the word, But regardless, it was completely impossible for them to take any actions of their own will. In that sense, I can confirm they suffered instant deaths.
Up until this point, I've just been checking for the classic tricks. Now's when our showdown over the closed room really starts, okay? If the culprit isn't on the inside, they're on the outside. So they somehow killed from the outside of the rooms.
Have you lost your mind? After all, a closed room equals murder is impossible from the outside, right? That's why a magical murder mystery would be impossible. Magical murder, rather.
No, that's wrong. The right approach is a murder really happened equals it isn't a closed room.
Yeah!
No matter how much you try to trick me, this definitely isn't a closed room.
Spin that board.
It's a sham that only looks like one.
Spin that board. However, Butler-sama, only the victims are inside the rooms, and no other people exist inside the rooms. And by Milady's closed room definition, the remote murders from outside the room have been completely denied, have they not?
Wait, the definition of remote murders is pretty broad, right? It's not just about pulling a fishing line from the outside of the room and strangling the victim inside the room. For example, a trap would make for an excellent remote murder.
A trap? Oh, and what might that be?
Just as an example, let's say they were instructed to enter the rooms that someone had picked out beforehand, unlock the doors from the inside to create closed rooms themselves. A trap was set up in those rooms that they didn't know about, and that's what killed them. How's that? That doesn't contradict anything.
There are no problems. It corresponds to the existing state. There are no problems on our side either. It does not conflict with Milady's closed room definition. What's with that stupid reasoning? Nothing suspicious was found in any of the rooms, right? What form did that trap have? Where was it hidden and how did it operate? Explain that for all 6 of them in the parlor, the guest room, the waiting room, the VIP room, the boiler room, and the chapel. Well, you can't, can you?
I refuse to counter that. There's no need for me to explain, and failing to do so doesn't damage my claim.
What did you say? Beatrice, it's a devil's proof. The fact that he cannot explain the nature of the trap does not in itself deny the existence of such a trap. Well done. Well overbearing. A wonderful move. This guy's getting completely used to this.
Check. Due to murder trap X that we couldn't find, it'd be impossible to establish this closed room murder.
I'll kill that check with the red truth. The 6 were not killed by traps.
And the definition of a trap?
That's it. Something that activates when a victim triggers it on their own. Oh, and that's not all. It also includes things activated by remote control or by a timer. Everything of that sort. So it refers to all arrangements that could carry out a murder without the direct participation of the one who planned it out. Perhaps we might sum it up that way. And how's that? I have struck back. As if I'd let a human crush this closed room.
You're looking pretty frantic to win, too.
What? What do you mean?
You're frantically fighting to make me accept your existence. Till now, I thought I was just being toyed around by you one-sidedly. That's not actually true. You're also frantically resisting my counters, fighting me to show that you exist. Now, I finally really feel that it's true. This isn't torture inflicted on me, over whether I'll surrender or not. This is a fight between you and me on an even footing.
Damn.
Okay, now it's starting to get interesting, isn't it? All 6 died in closed rooms, no outsiders were inside, and there was no meddling from the outside and also no traps. Up until now, I'd probably start suspecting that this had to be the work of magic. If you decided to show off some bizarre magic at this moment, I might even have surrendered. It's that favorite strategy of yours. You intercept all my moves, and in the moment I've exhausted all options and fallen to my knees, when my heart's barriers are at its weakest, you show off some strange magic and take the game all at once.
That short temper is something that this child has always had, along with a bad habit of rushing things when victory is in sight. After all, Milady cannot stand putting off a match. Hey!
Whoa, Gloss Shadow!
Shut up! It's Patler's turn, right? I finished off that trap piece you advanced. What should I repeat next? Show me what you've got.
Right. Now that even traps have been defeated, this looks like a perfect closed room murder at a glance. And that's why I'll spin the chessboard around right now.
Oh, here it comes, that special technique of yours. How exactly are you going to spin what around? Try showing me.
Yeah, I'll show you. No need to think of how 6 people could be killed inside closed rooms from the outside. It's useless, it's all useless. That's right, the question isn't how you can kill from the outside of the rooms. The point is how they died inside the rooms, making them closed rooms. That's it, this is the answer. If you assume that one of the 6 victims was the culprit, this closed room can be explained extremely easily.
What? Ridiculous. I believe I clearly said in red that the 6 of them were dead.
Well, there were 6 deaths. 5 were victims who got killed. If you assume that the other person committed suicide, you can destroy this closed room.
Certainly. If the culprits locked themselves in the final closed room and threw away their own life, this closed room chain would be established. The suicide of the culprits. Normally it would be an unthinkable move, but the argument that the unthinkable cannot exist cannot be used, and he has no responsibility to demonstrate the motive. A truly powerful move which can only be used in a chess match against the witch. Well, one cannot be certain that there was no motive. For example, it has been announced that Kinzo only had a short time left to live. Perhaps he did not regret losing his short remaining life and used his own death to send a message. It might be possible to attach such a motive. My lady, it is our turn. Indeed. To think you trample even the dignity of the dead to create a culprit. What a heartless, cold-blooded man.
Set up the dead as the culprit. It's worse than inhuman move. It's one you used to attack Cannon-kun in the last game. Even though the games are different, I'm taking a shot back at you with this move, as a tribute to Cannon-kun for that time. Just now I freed the Cannon-kun from his regrets.
She's not happy. You have no responsibility to hold back here. You should try to confirm that suicide wasn't the cause of any of their deaths. I recommend that you have that child repeat it in red.
Right. Suicide's a naive word that won't corner her. Vito, this'll stop you. Repeat it. The 6 deaths were all homicides.
That is painful.
What's wrong? All 6 of them were killed, right? I'm just confirming that simple premise we've had from the very beginning, right? Can't you repeat it? Here it comes, come on.
Can she do it?
Hey!
I refuse to repeat it. There's no reason in particular.
You realize that refusing to repeat this is the same as resigning, right?
Oh, shit.
Checkmate! One of the 6 was the culprit and they planned to commit suicide after constructing the closed room. That's all.
Wait. No, I'll say it. I'll use the red like you want. None of the 6 committed suicide. How's that? Are you satisfied? I've struck back.
The hell, so you can say it. That's strange. Why are you so panicky?
It's your imagination. This time, even I'm feeling the pressure. That's right. I don't have any leeway. Pay it no mind. The line you asked the child to repeat has been altered. Do not be fooled.
I was really wondering why Bala didn't pick up on that. I was like waiting for it to be a translation issue or something.
Yeah. It's okay. Vigili's got this. Go. It seems not to have worked, milady.
That's right. She didn't say the 6 deaths were all homicides. She changed it to none of the 6 committed suicide, which means one of them wasn't killed by someone else and didn't commit suicide. I've got it. This is the truth. Culprit X, who was hiding among the 6, murdered the other 5 and then set up a closed room. After that, they planned to escape from or hide in that room by some method. However, they got in an accident. Interesting that they used the sound of flames for that one.
This is true. They did. I can either confirm or deny anything.
The culprit died from an accident that even they hadn't expected, setting up a closed room murder that even they hadn't desired. Now it's over, Beatrice. Checkmate.
Damn it! Did you think I'd be cornered by something like that? I'd never announce my resignation over something like that. I'll slice up that foolish checkmate with my registered sword over and over again. None of the 6 died in accidental. My apologies. We request some time to strategize. Please allow us a brief postponement of this matter.
Fucking Ronove.
I love it. Like, covers her mouth like we need to leave. It is a fair request. Perhaps you should accept it.
Sure, take a break. I've been given those a lot lately. Now it's your turn to take one.
Thank you very much. Come, milady, this way, and let us quietly count to 100 inside of our heads. Ronove quickly covered Beatrice's mouth with his hand as she grew thoroughly panicked and agitated, suspending the game. He pulled Beatrice away, supposedly to hold a strategy conference. Jesus.
What is even happening?
Ronove! I love him.
Damn, that demon butler. When Beto got all hot, I had a perfect chance to corner her. Beto normally acted like she was graceful and above it all, but she actually had a really short temper and got mad easily. Her usual intellect had less of a voice when she got excited.
Ronove certainly is thinking clearly. He probably gave your opponent some time to cool down. That child got too stubborn trying to remove your check, and is about to easily let several large pieces go. After all, the First Twilight is only a skirmish. The correct move at the time would have been to withdraw.
So what does it mean? Did I read?
I'm trying to fix my voice. Don't worry about it.
Uh-huh.
Don't worry about what my tongue's doing.
That was very strange to see out the corner of my eye. Nothing unusual is happening here. So what does it mean? Did I reach checkmate or didn't I?
That child was about to say something in red. You probably wouldn't have reached checkmate yet, but most likely you can expect our opponents to resign once they've cut their heads.
You're joking. Even though she hates losing that much?
Yes, in a losing battle it is essential to withdraw your troops as soon as possible to try and minimize your losses. The difficult part is gauging whether it's a losing battle or not. Your opponent's butler seems to have calmly made that decision.
Oh well, in other words, she managed to escape by a hair's breadth. Getting checkmate and delivering the final blow won't be that easy for me.
However, you should count this as your victory. It seems they barely managed to prevent a huge loss, but they certainly sustained considerable damage. The scale of that child's panic ought to make the depths of that wound quite clear to you.
Seriously? Feels as though she'd start crying if I bullied her anymore. Interesting.
That was fun.
As we talked, Ronove returned with Beto, who wore a meek expression. She didn't yet have her usual bold smile, but it looked like the blood wasn't rushing to her head anymore. Hey, it's your turn. Did you decide on your next move?
I resign. For now, I will let you have your victory.
Beto told me that frankly. Seems she'd take a far-sighted view, as though saying, if you want to laugh, then laugh. It's a bit of a killjoy, and I lost my desire to deliver the final blow. Well, now that you've resigned, that just means we're even, since my theory and yours can't deny each other. You should treat it more like a tie than a loss.
I don't need your disgusting sympathy. I'm telling you that I lost this round. When you find a dog and drenched with rain, give us an urge to whack it with a stick or something.
Nope, I'm not you. Even though she ridiculed me horribly when I showed signs of defeat, this is the best she's got when the tables are turned. I did feel that was pretty cowardly of her, but I decided to act with dignity as the victor and let it slide.
Good guy, Battler. Sort of.
Beto resigned. That's the one result of the First Twilight. Beatrice couldn't counter my move if one of the 6 was the culprit, and that person died in an accident. She probably could have countered it, but for some strategic reason she admitted defeat. It felt like I'd won, and it felt less like I'd won, and more like I'd let her slip away at the last second. Damn that Ronove and his gorgeous monocle.
His sexy everything.
Ugh. In a chess match with a witch, battles can be fought solely with pieces known as X, which require no detailed explanations. Thanks to the Devil's Proof, I could create as many strange fictions as I wanted, and use them as fighters in our argument. But that only works in a chess match with a witch. In our human world, you can't use such abstract theories to explain things. This First Twilight was a chain of 6 closed rooms. It certainly may have been possible for a human, but Beto wasn't able to deny all possibilities. However, I don't have a clue who committed the crime, or why, or how they actually did it. It may seem strange to hear me say this after I won, but for some reason I felt like I'd have been more satisfied if Beatrice had been able to say definitively that it was impossible for humans. I managed to avoid specifics using an abstract piece called X, but I couldn't deny the sense that some eerie intent that must never be known was filling up this entire mansion. Something was filling up this entire mansion.
End of chapter. What a weird ending.
What could it possibly be?
Bella won though. Like,
I guess.
Beata resigned on the First Twilight. She said, yeah, I can't, combat you.
Well, I mean, the problem with that is that Ronove was like, no, we need to save this for later.
She said there were no accidental deaths, but it wasn't in red. She didn't, finish the sentence.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, maybe there's a clue there. Like, if she had said that in red. She didn't, but if she had, maybe there's a clue. But yeah, end of chapter.
Interesting.
Should do some theory crafting.
Sounds dangerous.
Yeah.
Next time on Umineko.